Welcome. If this is your first time checking out our channel or our campsite reviews, I'm Kyle, and I'm one half of the Wandering Shores. My wife and I, Michelle, have been full-time RVers since 2020, and this time we're up near Greer, Arizona. I'll tell you, this place has got a little bit of something for everybody, but it is missing a few things, and we'll tell you about those later in the video. So you're here for free camping? Well, let me take you over and show you a few spots. We're going to show you Forest Road 112. We're then going to take you to Badger Creek Dispersed Camping. And I'm also going to add a few special little nuggets that I found as I was out exploring this area. So stay tuned. Taking you to Forest Road 112 Dispersed Camping first. Okay, we've arrived at Forest Road 112. I'm just crossing the cattle grate to get into the boondocking area. This road is fairly well maintained. There's a couple larger potholes here just as you enter the boondocking area, but they're really not that bad. As you can see, there's space here for two cars to pass each other going both ways. That one had a small child driving. So the boondocking area is going to be off here to the right in the trees. As we get closer, we will show you most of the individual sites. There's probably about 10 sites total in this area. This intersection that you come to is going to have a couple spots. I'm going to get out and show you those spots since they're not currently occupied. So I'm going to turn right here. There's a little bit of a divot right here in the road, but if you go slow, you're not going to have any problems. So I'm going to pull into this first site and then walk you through some of the other sites. Okay, I am here at this first site that is right there on the corner. I'll take it back here. This is actually a fairly nice site, though you get most of the traffic obviously because you're at that intersection. It's one of the few more flat sites. You can see the big fire ring right there. You can pull in over there, so if you needed to, you could do a pull through. But this site right here is fairly flat. Pretty open view of the sky, so you're going to get decent solar through most of the day. Obviously the trees are going to be blocking some depending upon what angle they're coming from. This site was occupied when we came up here, but as of now, which is June 1st 2023, it is empty, but there are a few adjacent sites right next to it. I'm going to take you over there. Okay, you can see where my truck's parked. That's the first site I just showed you. Here we are on the next site. I'll call this site number 2. They don't really have numbers, but this is a large pull-through site. Now, a couple things to keep in mind. We actually tried camping here and we spent almost an hour trying to get level. Now, the ground was a little soft when we got here, so that could have been part of it. But I don't know if you can tell in the video, but it is pretty uneven. And there's also obviously probably groundhogs or moles or something digging around in here, which loosening the ground. But you can come in right there and exit right there. But this is a pretty uneven site, so it's probably only going to be ideal for probably a small rig. I think if you had automatic leveling, you probably could do a decent job leveling, but I don't know. We spent a lot of time and got nowhere. So let me take you over to the next one down the road. We'll call that number 3. Point of reference. There's the truck coming down the road here. I just showed you site 2, which was right there. This is a site which would be site 3. It's fairly level but fairly small. You're going to come up here. There's going to be a split in the road. Now, down the left-hand split, there are a few sites back there, but they are relatively small and pretty uneven. And this road going in is pretty rough. It looks to me, not telling you should do this, but it looks to me like people are driving around this really rough road and driving up on the grass to get back there. So as you continue to go down this road, there's going to be a big spot up there where that Class A is, but I can tell just from looking at it that that Class A is not very level right now. Now, if you continue down that road that we were just at, back down there, there's one more spot, but it's not a very level one. So then it kind of climbs up the mountain up to a flat area, but the road is extremely, extremely rough. We didn't even actually go up there. So now I'm going to take you back to the truck. I'm going to get in to the intersection where we turned right, and I'm going to go straight and show you some of those spots. Okay, we're back in the car right at the turn where I showed you spot number 1 here on the corner. I'm going to take you down Forest Road 112 a little bit further and show you a few more of the boondocking spots. Off here to the right, you can see we've got a larger travel trailer as well as a small scamp there in that area. Pretty flat area. There's actually about 2 or 3 spots back in that particular area. As we continue down further, you're going to come to another little road here on the right hand side. I'm going to go ahead and turn up the road and show you the spot that's up here. And I will say the road is a little rough when you first turn in, so it's not ideal for, you know, low clearance vehicles. I'm bouncing around a little bit, but I've just got the truck. Here is a pretty nice spot. As you can see, there's plenty of room. This spot has a higher elevation back in the back, so you're probably going to park right here near this fire pit. Let me get out and show you a little bit more. So, right there's the spot. I don't know if you can tell the levelness of it, but last weekend was Memorial Day weekend, and when we got here a few days before that, I got to show you something that was definitely not here when we got here before. It's kind of bizarre, but also kind of cool in the same way. Somebody took the time to hang a bunch of bones that they found around the boondocking area up in that tree. So, all right, I'm gonna continue down the road a little bit. There's not much more past that, but there is one spot, but it's pretty rough to get into. I'm turning back out onto 112. We'll take you a little bit further down 112 and show you one more spot. As you can see, we have the lake over here on the left, which is absolutely gorgeous. The spot I wanted to show you actually looks like it's got somebody in it, but here on the right-hand side, you're going to see a little road come in, and up at the top of the hill, there is a boondocking spot. So I'm actually going to turn around here because there's nothing beyond this. So that's pretty much it for Forest Road 112. Most of the camping is here in this forested area. You're going to get decent solar through most of the day, but you are probably going to have some trouble getting level. We are now going to take you over to Forest Road 87 and show you Badger Creek Dispersed, which is actually only about 2 or 3 spots, but that's where we chose to camp. And then I'm going to tell you about some more spots that we found as we were out adventuring, but don't necessarily have video of them. Okay, I'm pulling out of Forest Road 112 and I'm going to be heading south on 273. You're only going to go probably about 2 or 3 miles, and you're going to see Forest Road 87 come in on the left. You'll also see a sign that says Greer in that same direction. Okay, here we are at junction for 87, and the sign right there says Greer 7 miles to the left. We're going to be turning here. The first portion of this road, maybe 50 feet, is going to be paved, and then it turns to gravel, but it's fairly well maintained. It's actually a fairly busy road because it's really the only way to get to Greer from this side of the town. So we're heading to Badger Creek Dispersed, which is where we decided to camp. It's going to be about 3/4 of a mile down here on the right-hand side. No issues for rigs of any size to get through this area. It's a little bit washboarded, but obviously that changes from time to time once they drag it. but it's plenty wide without any overhead clearance issues. Okay, after you go around this bend here to the right, you're going to see a little driveway here on the right hand side, and that will be Badger Creek Dispersed. I would suggest you veer to the right because the left is pretty rutted once you get up towards those other camp spots. But I'm gonna stop over here and show you our spot, and then I'm gonna walk you up to the spots up a little bit up the road more. As you can see, we got a pretty prime spot. It's super quiet and peaceful out here except for the road, but you just, you got to deal with that. That's not too bad, and it's not super busy, especially at night. But yes, it's a beautiful scenery all around. Now I'm going to walk you up the hill right over there and show you a couple small spots that are over there and tell you a little bit more about some of the other boondocking spots that I found while we were out exploring. So there are a couple spots up here, probably, unless you know the people that you're with, it's probably really more just one spot. You can see a couple small fire rings right there. Again, you're going to get into the situation where it might be difficult to get level. It looks to me, based on this fire pit, that some people have been camping right here and just using that spot, even though it's part of the road. But there are spots right here that I think you could probably pull a small travel trailer or a van or something right there and have that as your view. Greer's got a lot to offer. As I mentioned earlier, it's perfect for people looking to get outdoors. There's not a lot of shopping. There's no gas. You have to go all the way to Eager, which is about 25 miles away, I would say. Greer doesn't have any gas whatsoever. They've got a couple little restaurants, but a majority of the people that come to this area are going to be coming to do adventure and outdoor stuff. Hiking, biking, fishing is huge up here. There's a lot of Apache trout, which I guess is a pretty popular fish to fish for. But the services are really limited. Cell phone service is hit or miss depending upon what spot you're in. So I'll try to include the testing that I did in the different areas, but again, I didn't do testing in all of them. Starlink's been working great. We got a clear view of the northern sky, so that's not been an issue. So last but not least, I'm going to take you to a few of the other spots on Google Maps that we were able to find when we were out adventuring and show you what we found there. Okay, I've brought you inside here with Google Maps. I want to show you where we're at. So, point of reference, Forest Road 112 is there. Badger Creek is here, right off of Forest Road 87. Now, if you take Forest Road 87 about a mile past Badger Creek, you're going to find two more boondocking spots. I'm going to switch over here to Google Maps aerial view. You can see right there, currently there were 3 or 4 rigs there, and that spot was empty. So there are two more spots there along Forest Road 117. I'm going to scroll back out. I'm going to take you north now. Up here in Eager and Springville is where all the gas and stuff is along 260. This 260 runs west all the way over to Show Low, and there are some spots here. We have White Mountain Grasslands Dispersed. Let me switch over and show you the actual sites. And just up the road from there, we have Fish Creek Dispersed. And right along that road down Fish Creek, there are some more spots hidden in there amongst the trees. So you've got a lot of options along 260 as well, good for rigs of just about any size. Then we're going to scroll a little bit more west, more over towards the Show Low area, but still in the Greer area. Here we've got the Sheep Corral area, and we've got Beehive Spring. I'll switch over to the map. I'll show you there's a huge spot right there at the corral. Beehive has some back here in the trees. There's just past Beehive Spring, there is another area, and then you get out into this wide open area. This is perfect for rigs of any size. You can actually see that there are spots already with rigs in them from the aerial view. So you've got a lot of options here in this area. So I hope this video was helpful. Please subscribe, like our content. See you next week.